Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting for financial freedom. We are going to be taking a look at the JASMY price set one more time. There are a few developments that we want to talk about, particularly in the shorter time frame perspective here for JASMY. So, without me further running my mouth too much, let's quickly jump into exactly what we are talking about. Long term, I think that we are pretty much clear as to like the trajectory that we are following here with JASMY. I've said time and again for years right at this point, we are pretty much following the structures that we were seeing with Cardano, Ethereum, BNB, NEO, and all those things that we talked about. But look at where we are right now. We're expecting some kind of parabolic run here for JASMY. I think even from a time frame perspective, we are really getting super close to that. Yesterday we talked and we were saying that we are right around maybe 6-7 months to the peak for JASMY. So I'm pretty much excited for those price targets that we have. Remember, we are looking at something like 54 cents, we're looking at 86 cents, and eventually for the best case scenario we are looking at something like $1.20 here for JASMY. So those things are still pretty much in play for me, but where we want to focus on, as I mentioned already at the beginning of the video, is the shorter time from perspective here. And yeah, I've said for the last 3 weeks I'm expecting JASMY to go a little bit sideways. But some people may not have understood what exactly I mean by that. I mean that you can have a wide range, which is maybe like 25% to the downside, 25% up, 40% up, whatever the case may be. What I'm just trying to get to is that there are days which are really going to be exciting. I mean, take a look at this previous range that we were stuck in here with JASMY. You could see that to the downside here you were experiencing something like a 40% drop, but when you were pumping from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, you are seeing something like a 65% rise. So things like these are going to be happening. Some days are going to be super exciting for JASMY, some days not so exciting here. But what exactly is the game plan here for JASMY? I think that if we go to the 4-hourly time frame here, let me just go ahead and try to use a clean chart here. Maybe let's go with KuCoin. Yeah, I think I'd already drawn this here. So for the 4-hourly time frame, we are seeing that we've got a symmetrical triangle here, and usually these are continuation patterns, right? And since we are already in a downtrend here for JASMY, I expect that we have got a breakdown here. So I was even talking to my patrons earlier on, and I was showing them the exact trade that we are going to be taking there. So if you're interested in those ones, you can as well join the Patreon and see what we are doing by there. So I expect JASMY to drop maybe to something like 2.3, 2.4 cents here immediate short term, just because of this symmetrical triangle. But maybe I shouldn't be saying just because of the symmetrical triangle, because I think we are also looking at the the one weekly time frame, and I think for the last 2 weeks really I've said that there is bearish divergence here. You can see that we have got a lower high on the RSI compared to the higher high that we have here on the price section, indicating that it is more likely that JASMY is going to be falling. But yeah, that's great, because as I said already, this is the base case scenario for JASMY just to go sideways. By sideways, remember, I mean that the range can be wide. It can be 25% to the downside. It can be 60% towards the upside. It's going to be a little bit wishy-washy, right? But just remember that this is probably the best case scenario for JASMY, just to call off these RSI indicators and stuff like that. Then we can continue to the upside right there, right? I think I wanted to show you one more thing here, which is here the moving average. Is maybe I mentioned it a little bit in yesterday's video, but we can go through that one more time. So I have been saying here with the moving average, it is actually one of the most important on the JASMY price, that if not the most important, right? So what you just realize is that once we are breaking below it, you go a little bit bearish, right? Compared to what we were doing back then in the bearish cycle, I think that I don't really expect JASMY to be doing huge drops like this and this and this. These are pretty much exaggerated because of the bear market, as well as the circulation and dilution which was happening with JASMY back then. But right now, what I would expect is shallow drops to something like 2.34 cents, as I mentioned already. But yeah, we'll see. This gets invalidated obviously if we find JASMY coming up here, breaking it and closing at least maybe 2-3 daily candles above the 50 daily moving average. Then you just know that the scenario of JASMY dropping even further is invalidated completely. So that's where we are standing right at this point. And I was also even saying that, look, we can extend this moving average a little bit, because it's going to creep up a little bit right in the coming days, and we could see JASMY either continuing to crash to the downside, or maybe get rejected one more time here or we could even see it like breaking above, and then the whole thing is invalidated, just as I was mentioning. But should this really be a worrying thing for anybody holding JASMY? Is it time to be selling JASMY and buying into other projects? I don't think it's really worth it. Obviously, yes, we are curious about the short-term price action here, but remember, we have got this general trend that we are following here with JASMY, and I really don't see any reason to be going in and out if you are not a professional trader, right? And I think holding JASMY is eventually going to be something that is going to be very much profitable. We have actually done it already. We are up at least something like 10x from where we were buying JASMY down in the bear cycle, and yeah, I think the best is yet to come. Short term, if you're interested in trading and stuff like that, this can actually be helpful to you. But other than that, I think we are good. The BTC dominance is just about to fall, and we could have the biggest altcoin season that we are going to be having here, and JASMY is obviously going to be playing an important role in that as well, right? So just remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, all right? But if you like the content, don't forget to delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then I would have to see you on the very next one. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye.